just like with the annual percent, I can't think. What's the dadgum compound interest and continuous interest? This is nothing but plugging and chugging and using the calculator. Okay? 50% of it's plugging in the right numbers. 50% of it's knowing how to use the calculator. Now you can do this. You can actually do this problem without even writing anything down. Okay? You have to use the functions on your calculator and you have to use the store key. Okay? Or you can do it all in one. If you're a real calculator geek, you can try to do it all in one with using your parentheses and your brackets. Now, I have found that that is the least accurate because you'll spend 15 minutes trying to get your parentheses and brackets right, and you can't do that on a test. So the first thing I would tell you to do is make sure you write this down. Now, it's asking for saving plan formula, and you are making payments. Now write that down. That's where it says regular payments. You need to put you are making payments. So if you want to make if Zach wants $1 million when he retires in 30 years, what kind of payments does he need to make? Okay? And that's based on what percentage rate, and you're talking about 401k, or you're talking about investing. You're going to have a number of payment periods. That usually is 12. Okay? And number of years is usually something like 30 or 35 years, because people usually, when they get out of college and they get to a career, 22, 25 years old, they're usually thinking 30 or 40 years down the road. Okay? So number of years is usually going to be 30 to 40. Accumulated saving plan balance, that is what you want. And the payment and the APR, that's APR, it's never called APR. It's called R. 1 over R over N, 1 plus R over N, raised to the NT power minus 1 over R over N. Okay? So I would suggest that you take this out. Let's see if I can do this. Where's my handy dandy? There we go. Take that out because nobody ever calls it Y. Take this out, and that's R. Take this out, and that's R. All right? Make that note, because if you see this in a bank, or if you see it in any kind of application, it's not going to be written like this. It's going to be A is equal to 1 plus R over N. Well, that's a sorry N. Okay, you get the point. I'm not even going to try it. So, what I'm going to do is, well, we'll get to it in just a minute. Next slide. All right, so do this one, and I'll do it on my paper because I can't handle that. Even though it's working better, and I'm appreciative that it's working better, it's a whole lot easier for me to do this on the overhead, on the document cam. So use the savings plan formula to calculate the balance after 6 months. Okay, 6 months. You don't use 6 months. Somebody tell me what you use instead of 6 months. What did I tell you T was always in terms of?
Year, no.
Yep, whoever said
year.
that. Years. So what is 6 months?
0.5.
Good job, Miss Bradley. She is on the ball this morning. Okay, so I'm going to put T is equal to 0.5 or 1/2. I'm going to write this down on my paper, and then I'll switch over in just a minute. Okay, the balance after 6 months for R is equal to 0.12, and monthly payments, N is equal to 12, and of $100. So your payment equals $100. Now take your handy dandy formula and plug it in. I'm going to switch over to my handy dandy document cam. Now, the formula is A is equal to the principal, I think, or the payment, sorry, payment times, and that's going to be 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power over, what was the bottom part? R over N?
Yes.
Now make sure that's basically it. Make sure I wrote it down correctly. So plug and chug. So A is equal to 100 times 1 plus 0.12 divided by 12. That raised to the N, which is 12, times 0.5, which is 6, over 0.12 over 12. Now, that's all the writing you need to do. All the rest needs to be done on the handy dandy calculator. So here's your handy dandy calculator. Thought I could make this bigger. I guess I can. There it is. Alright, so I hit on, and I start from the inside, and you can go ahead and do the denominator if you want to. 0.12 divided by 12. And that doesn't take a Philadelphia lawyer or a mathematician to say that's 0.01. So stow, where you get bread, and I'm going to say alpha D. And what does the D stand for? Denominator, Hubert. Thank you, class. Now I'm going to do the top. Okay? So 0.12 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the what power?
6.
Raised to the 6th power. And that's stow alpha N. And what does N stand for? Numerator, Hubert. That's right, class. So now I'm going to take 100 times parentheses alpha N divided by alpha D, close parentheses, the numerator divided by the denominator, and that's equal to $10,615.20. So at the end of how many years? 6 months. He's got $10,615.20. Now, how much did he pay into it?
100.
No.
Can you tell me how you got 12 for N? Because that confused me.
I asked the question first.
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you, I don't know.
Well, he makes a monthly payment of $100, and how many months has he got it in there for?
6?
So how much money has he put into it?
600?
This is a miracle. 600.
Look,
He's got $600 and he gets a return of 10,000. Huh?
I said, look, let me explain myself. I can't see the question, so I forget.
I'm sorry. Okay, now, why did I say that N is equal to 12? Because monthly payments, N is equal to 12. Doesn't matter how many years he's got it in there, N is 12. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's go see what they got. Let's pull up our handy dandy PowerPoint. I don't forgot where it is. There it is. Current slide.
You have a work email.
And enter. And they plug it in. I guess I got all that right. I did something wrong. Didn't I get to the 6th power?
What's the -1?
Point. Well, I asked y'all. I said, did I write down the formula right? And what did y'all say? What did y'all say? Yeah, you did it right. Crap. Y'all suck. -1. So let's go back to the drawing board. Thanks, class. There's the -1. I just put it in there. So go back to the handy dandy calculator. And I'm gonna change the numerator. So 0.12 divided by 12, enter, plus 1, enter, raised to the what? 6th power, minus 1.01 raised to the 6th power, and then -1, and that's our numerator. Stow alpha n. Now let's try it. So that's going to be 100 times parentheses alpha numerator divided by alpha denominator, close parentheses. And that gives us $615.20. Okay? So now let me go back to what we were saying. How much did he invest in 6 months? $600, Hubert. That's right, class. So how much did he get on his return? $15.20, Hubert. That's right, class. Wake up, people.
I'm answering, but I'm on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
I answered every single one of these questions.
Okay. Well, how
That's
about
right.
the question when I said did I write down the formula correctly?
Okay,
How
I
about
didn't see
that
that.
one?
I don't write the formula down
Oh, okay.
because I'm so smart. I don't need that formula.
I hear you, girl. All right, so there's current slide there. Now, I want everybody to look at this slide, and I want you to say, okay, what are we doing? We're making payments for 6 months, and in a savings account, how is that calculated? There it is. Now you need to write that down because I'm going to ask you a question here in a little bit, or the slide is, and they don't want the total, they want the payment that you need to make, which all you do is solve for payment. And we could do that algebraically, but I don't want to see Miss Bradley self-combust, okay? Spontaneously combust. So we won't do that. We'll just show another formula. Okay? All right, so this is making a $100 payment, monthly payment. How much do you have at the end of a certain amount of years? That's that type question. Okay, write down annuity. What is an annuity? Any series of equal regular payments. How do you know about equal regular payments? Somebody tell me how everybody in here knows about equal regular payments. Two things that everybody
paying a
has.
house or car.
A car,
House or car.
and a house or an apartment or whatever the case may be. Those are annuities. Now, the apartment is not an annuity because you're not owning it. Okay? You're just renting it. Now, if you were a condo, that's different. A condo is something that you can actually what? Own. That's the difference between an apartment and a condo, I think. Okay? Ordinary annuity is a savings plan in which payments are made at the end of each month. An annuity due is a plan in which payments are made at the beginning of each period. These are just for your information. You don't have to write these down. The annuity, you need to know what an annuity is. Present value of a savings plan is a lump sum deposit that would give the same end result as regular payments into a plan. Okay? Instead of paying 12 monthly payments, you'll pay a yearly payment. Okay? Something like that. Here we go. You would like to retire 25 years from now and have a retirement fund from which you can draw an income of $50,000 per year forever. How can you do it? Assume a constant APR of 7%. Well, they should give you another formula here. Okay. Well, you got to multiply. So you're going to do this, but they're going to give you the formula. Okay, write that down. 50,000 divided by 0.07. Now, why do you do that? Well, you've got to have a BA amount of money in order to retire for 50,000 a year. Does everybody understand that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it just don't come from the government. Government is spelled G-U-V apostrophe M-E-N-T. Government. Is there a difference between government and government? Yes. Government's when you're getting something from the government. Okay? Government is the actual entity of the government. Y'all know that? It's kind of like the difference between a whipping and a whooping. The difference between hungry and hungry. Yeah, Hubert, I know what you're talking about.
Are these terms going to be on the test?
Yes, hungry and hungry, whipping and whooping, and government and government.
You know, I've been thinking, Hubert, you need some new instructor-generated questions on your test because I've been taking you since, like, I don't know, 2014.
Yep.
And it's been the same questions.
Do you know why?
I don't know why.
You know, I deal with some students that just are challenged. Really, I do.
That is not nice, President Trump.
Well, it's very true. I deal with some students that are brain dead, okay? I'm sorry. All right. So, would everybody agree with me that you need to have a bunch of money in the bank to draw from? Yes. So that's how you find it right there. You take the 50,000. What is the 50,000? That's the desired amount per year. All right? You want 50,000 per year, and you divide it by the percentage rate. That will give you a BA lump of money to draw from. Now, you can't do this problem without doing that right there. Okay? Now, when they do a lifetime, you would like to retire 25 years from now. Okay, they do forever right there. I'm sorry. That's lifetime. Forever. All right. Forever, ever. Okay. So 740. Write that $714 down. $714,000 down, because that's going to go into the formula as your principal. Okay? Everybody understand that? Yes, Hubert. There we go. In other words, a balance of about $715,000 allows us to withdraw $50,000 per year without ever reducing the principal. Let's assume you will try to accumulate a balance of $715,000 by making regular monthly payments. We have an APR of 0.07, and N is equal to 12, and Y is equal to 25. T is equal to 25, not Y. Okay? So, what do they want to know? By making a regular monthly deposit into a savings plan. So we've got to figure out the monthly payments. And look what they do. What have they done, Miss Bradley? Where'd you go, Miss Bradley? Why are you turning off the video and turning it back on? All right. What's the difference in this formula? Okay, now your mouth is moving and you got your... Oh, Lord.
I said, maybe I was picking my nose and I needed a little privacy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's too much information. All right. What's wrong? What's different here?
It's a different formula.
Not a different formula. It's a derived formula from the previous formula. Do you want me to show y'all how I derive it? Everybody should say no. Go ahead. Now, what is A?
It's 700.
That's that BA number. Yes, as Hannah said. I think she was saying it. That's that BA number, 714,000 or whatever it was, 715,000. APR is R, N, NT. So now we have to put it in this formula. Why? Because we're trying to find the monthly what? Payment. Is that monthly payment going to be small or is it going to be huge, Zach?
It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
you're
really trying to get $716,000 at the, that's going to be a huge payment. Okay? All right, so let's crank it out. I'm going to write it on my paper here because I don't trust y'all. Y'all tell me wrong things. So, payment is equal to A plus R over N all over 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power minus 1. Now, from the question, I'm going to go back one. 715,000, A is equal to 715,000. R is equal to 0.07. N is equal to 12. And T is equal to 25. So the payment is equal to 715,000 plus 0.07 divided by 12 over, get out of this. There we go. Over 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12 raised to the 12 times 25 How much is 12 quarters? So that'd be 300. You don't have to use a calculator for that. Minus 1. It's amazing when I ask what 6 times 25 is and people reach for a calculator, but I ask them what 6 quarters are and they tell me it's $1.50.
Hubert, all women understand money better, huh?
Yeah, they do, but you try to tell them that in a math class. They go back to some crutch about hating algebra and they talk about, witchcraft and stuff like that. You can take it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. So, I'm not going to do anything but use my calculator now. So here we go. Take my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to work on the numerator first. So 0.07 divided by 12. Add that to 715,000. Which really doesn't do anything, but, and I'm going to save that, stow, alpha, n. Now I'm going to do the bottom. 0.07 divided by 12, enter, plus 1, enter, raised to the 300th power, minus 1. And that is stow alpha D. And now I'm going to take alpha n and divide by what? Alpha D. And I get that's not right. There's no way that could be right.
Oops.
Hold on a second. Unless this is just where's my PowerPoint? I'm going to check something right quick. Something didn't seem right. Yeah? Yeah? But I didn't do the math right because I did something wrong. 12 times 15. Why did they say 15 years? Wait a minute. All right, somebody help me out. Why?
So they had 15 in place of the.
Yeah, 25.
But the
I
T-
don't understand. Are they saying that they're? Why did they? 12 times 15. Next 25 years. Why'd you use 15? Okay, I'm confused. I'm confused because I don't understand why they used 15. Am I missing something in the question?
Let's go back to it because I don't know.
You would like to retire 25 years from now and have a retirement fund from which you can draw an income of $50,000 per year forever.
Forever that's ridiculous.
Means till you die.
Which is when? I need a number.
Okay, just write down whenever you're going to die. When's that? Oh, I don't know. In other words, a balance of... Okay, why do they have y is equal to 25 years right here, and then they plug in 15?
Well, that's got to be 25 years is what they're calculating it out to.
Yeah, but I think they've got an error right here.
It's 300 on the second part.
Yeah. Ain't that what I got?
Yeah.
12 times 15. Somebody multiply 12 times 15. 12 times 12 is 144. And then that'd be 150?
180.
180?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an error. But they're using that calculation into this because
But they still have 300.
I know.
Huh.
So either, okay, somebody take, what did I get? Where's my answer? Yeah, mine didn't come out. That's impossible. So we're doing something wrong. Let me check my math. Let me check and go through and do it again. Hold on. I might have messed up something. Okay, here we go. Let's go again. So 0.07 divided by 12 plus 715,000. And stow that in alpha n. Okay? Now, 0.07 divided by 12 equals plus 1. All right, somebody write that down. 1.0058333333. Now let's pull the PowerPoint back up. Is that not what they got right there?
Yep.
Okay, to the 300th power, raise to the 300th power minus 1. That's what I got last time, wasn't it? Stow alpha D. Alpha N divided by alpha D equals. That's my answer.
That's the same thing, yeah.
I think what they did, would you raise this to 180? Let's do that. So 1.005833 raised to the 180th power equals minus 1. And save that as the denominator. That's going to be even. Oh, I see where the problem is. See if y'all can find the error. I see the error now. Somebody didn't do a very good PowerPoint presentation, whoever wrote this. I see where the problem is. Do y'all see it?
Hang on.
Look at the formula and look at their example.
Wait a minute.
You just have to look at the formula and look at their numbers. What do they have right here? I'm pointing at it.
Plus?
What do they have right here?
Oh, times.
Somebody didn't do a good. It's supposed to be times. Remember when I said that doesn't change that very much? I didn't think that was right when I saw the adding because it just made it 715,000 and 0.005833. It's supposed to change that number. It's supposed to be times. So make that change right there.
So in the formula, it's supposed to be multiplication.
Yes, it's supposed to be multiplication. Now, that's going to change a whole lot.
I have to write that down because I took a picture of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So over here, just do this. Now that's going to change a whole lot. And that's multiplication. I knew when I said 715,000 plus 0.07, something told me, said, that doesn't change anything. That just adds 0.00058. But I didn't think about it. Oh well. So let me change it. 715,000 times, parentheses, 0.07 divided by 12. Enter. There we go. Now that's going to make a difference. Okay, store that. Stow alpha n. And now the bottom, and we're not going to use 15, we're going to use 25 because theirs is wrong. So 0.07 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the 300th power minus 1. Stow alpha d. And now alpha n divided by alpha d. There we go. $882.64. And see, they got that, and they're using all kind of different numbers. 882.64. So 800. So Zach, if you make $882 monthly payment for the next 25 years, you'll be able to pull out $50,000 a year for the rest of your life.
Sweet.
So just make that extra $800 payment.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
He's casually alright.
What?
Nothing. Just entertained.
What's she laughing about over there?
You guys are, I don't know, entertaining me, so.
Oh, okay. See,
Just
Miss
forget
Bradley,
about
she's not entertained, so the heck with her. All right. Look over there. They got 15. I don't know where they got 15 from. And they're adding here and subtracting and multiplying here. So I would probably say this is a effed up individual. What do y'all think? They've got plus, and then they got times, and then they got y is equal to 25 in the previous problem, and then they change it to 15, and they get $882. I'd say that's probably messed up. It's probably, you ever seen these people that work for these companies and they don't use the correct English? Like when you go to China buffet and they have hot dog instead of hot dogs, they have hot dog. I think that's hilarious. So evidently somebody was writing this and they didn't know what they were doing, because that changed to a multiplication symbol, that changed to a multiplication symbol, and this changed from 180 to what? 300. All right, I think y'all know how to do it now that we changed it. Okay. Write down total return. That's just a question for your homework.
Is it right?
I hope.
Are you sure?
Yes, because it's new minus old over old. Write that down. You don't have to write it like this. Write it like this. And I always tell this story when I do new minus old over old. New minus old over old. And you multiply it by 100. This is whenever you want to find the percentage increase or what? When I started at Tri-County Tech, there was two other people that started the same time I did. And every year we send an email to each other and say, "You fired yet? You still here?" Because we started like on the same day. And one of the ladies is like, I don't know what her title is, but she's the director of public relations. And she wrote me an email one day and said, "I need your help quick. I got a meeting in 15 minutes. I said, "What do you need?" She said, "What is the percentage increase or decrease?" I said, "New minus old over old." And she went, "What?" And this is a Hubertism. All right. Your new number minus your old number over your old number. So say like you got a shirt that was on sale, was regularly $27.15, and you paid $15 for that shirt. Okay? So what is the percentage decrease? Well, that'd be 15. 15 minus 27.15 divided by 27.15 multiplied by 100. So somebody do that for me. I'm not going to do it because I got too much to do over here. All right, so do that. And it's going to come out with a negative, so that's going to be decrease. Why is it going to come out to be a decrease? Because this is a negative number right here. So it's a decrease of what?
44.75%.
So 45%, decrease of 45%. And if you think about it, what's 15 times 2?
30.
Is this close to 30? Yep.
Yes.
So you got a decrease of 45%. That's what they're asking you. This is something that you need to know for real world. Because
When they try to screw you with those sales.
What?
When they try to screw you with all those sales and mislead you. Yep.
That's true. And it's also good to be able to do it in your head. So this is one of those things for real world application, because I bet I wasn't hired on a week and I got a call for this. And she was needing it real quick because she was trying to do a PowerPoint slide, probably from that guy that wrote the same thing on the previous slide. He probably had it wrong. And that's what that is right there. New minus old over old. Annual return, you may see this on the homework. That's your A over your P, which is what you got at the end of 25 years, what you put into it, what the principal was, all over 1 over T, or all raised to the 1 over T minus 1. That's not really. Right now, the 3 formulas is what I want you to learn. There we go. New minus old over old. Here's an example. You invest $3,000 in the Clearwater Mutual Fund over 4 years. Your investment grows at a value of $8,400. What is your total annual return? What's the percentage increase? So that would be $8,400 minus $3,000 over $3,000. You had a 180% increase. Okay? And everybody come out with 180? Yes, Hubert. No, Hubert. And then there is your annual return. The 8400, which is your new, over 3000, raised to the 1/4 power minus 1. It comes out to be 30%, 29.4%. Type of investments. Stocks. A lot of people say that I'm in the stock market. Well, I guess I am, except my stocks have 4 legs on them. Cattle is like a stock. But you have a little bit more control over a cattle than you do over stocks. There's your type of investments. You got to watch yourself with investments. Why? Because sometimes when you invest money, the people that you invest the money, they're using your money 2 or 3 times. If you've got a savings account or a CD with a bank, what do you think they're doing with that money that they have you at 0.02%? They're investing that money on paper and getting a return 8 to 12%. So what are they doing with your money? They're making money off of your money. Investing it, yes. Okay?
Same thing South Carolina is doing with your 6% of retirement.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And since the presidential election, my dadgum 401k has gone up like 12.6%. I'm going to let y'all pronounce that word with the L word because I can't pronounce it. Y'all try.
Liquidity.
Liquidity, yeah. How difficult it is to take out your money. That's always, what happens in real life. Everybody in here has got a real life, okay? They have what? Emergencies.
Take the money out and pay the penalty.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to use that money. So make sure when you invest, make sure there's a little bit, the more rigid they are, the more money you're going to make. Why? Because they're investing that money. They don't want you to take that money out. Okay? Because when you take that money out, there goes their investment. But they don't want to tell you that they're investing your money. Okay? So they like for you to be rigid. They want a rigid. You don't have any access to that money till after 10 years. That's what they like. Risk. Is your investment principal at risk? Okay? Usually, what I like to tell people here, there's 2 things in real life that you can put to this risk right here. And I'm going to go to my handy dandy whiteboard. 1, nothing is what?
Free.
Nothing is free. And if it's too good to be true, then what? It usually is.
Lie.
Okay? When you're dealing with your money, you have to be what? 2 things. You have to be smart and you have to be careful. And these 2 things right here will never lead you the wrong way. Never. Now, is this in the book? Hail to the no. All right? This is a Hubertism. This is from Hubert. All right? These 2 things right here are very important. Okay? My father was a great one at number 2. He could sniff out. I'll never forget when these people came through Anderson and they were selling meat. Okay? They're coming through a town and they're selling meat. they would sell you this or half of a side of beef or whatever the case may be. And they came to my dad, and my dad said, y'all need to go on down the road. And I'll never forget, I was sitting in the truck with my dad after they had come to the house, and I asked my father, I was about 16, 17, somewhere in there. I said, why didn't you take advantage of that? He said, usually, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. About a week later, these people that came by the house were arrested for hoodooing a lot of people selling beef, and they didn't get any beef. All right? Mm-hmm. It was a scam, and my dad sniffed it out. And he always told me, he said, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
How about Carolina Investors? You ever heard about them and their story?
Yeah.
I was a young woman. What was I, like 25 years old, 24 years old? And I told my husband, then boyfriend, I said, that's too good. That percentage rate is too high. I said, those people are going to go under, and they're going to take your money with them. And they went and his family took out tons of money. And then a lawyer sent a certified letter to their house saying that they had to bring the money back. Ah!
You know what generates that?
Greed. That's exactly right.
Because usually people that are greedy, they look for things that are too good to what?
Too good to be true.
They look for them. And usually that's what's generating it. All right? And on both sides. From the criminal that's doing the scam to the person that bites. Okay? And I had a good friend. She was the CFO of that whole thing. And she was a member at our church. And she'd drive these, what do you call them, Infinities? These Infinity cars.
Yeah.
And she had a lake lot. And then all of a sudden, that Infinity turned to a Toyota. And that's when it hit, that big thing in Carolina Investors. And she basically, she didn't have to do time because she turned over evidence. Because she was a chief financial officer.
You know, my brother worked at Crane Chevrolet in Easley, and he worked there for 20 years, and he pulled a letter opener out of his pocket to open up a letter, and it was a Carolina Investors letter opener, and a man was standing in there like 75 years old, and he said, hey, son, if you have any money with those people, you better get it out of their bank now. And my brother-in-law left work and went and got my father-in-law and my husband, and they all went and drew their money out that day. And I mean, it saved them. I say that letter opener came from God.
How long was it before it hit?
I'd say after they took their money out, the letter from the lawyer probably came, I would say within about 90 days, maybe 3 months, I don't remember. But
Did you ever go back and thank that old man?
I told Keith that. I said, he never saw that old man again. But I said, that old man needs $1,000 from each
Might have had a couple of wings on his back, too.
I'm telling you.
Boy, that's awesome. But usually, and this is, and I hate to keep saying this, usually if it's too good to be true, it usually is, and you better watch out. You better watch out. If you're putting your money into something and you're making a double return or a triple return, something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a big company like, now a lot of people got rich off Walmart. If I'd have kept my stock in Walmart when I was working there in 1985, I wouldn't be teaching right now because my stock would be like worth millions. All right.
Yeah.
Now that's a company that is something that, you know, it's hard to finagle a company, okay, with more than 20 million employees, okay? That's hard to finagle. But one of these fly-by-nights that, you know, you just better be careful. Better be careful.
When that Carolina Investors thing came out and Weston went and got his money from there, but like I'm saying, I was a girlfriend then, not a wife, so nobody listens to me. But I said, he pulled $100,000 out. I said, you should go
Priority
buy.
1 message coming in on secured channel.
I'm sorry,
said,
what?
I said, you should go buy Apple stock with that money. That was in of like, what was it, 2004 maybe? 2004. And at that point, Apple stock was like, I don't know, $88 a share. And by the time it had reached its peak, it was at 400 something. We would be like really, really rich if he had listened to me.
I know. It's awful, but sometimes
if
you don't.
was the case, I wouldn't be here learning anything from you, Hubert. I would be getting a pedicure right now.
Exactly. And and see, some people, I got a cousin, and he tries to get rich overnight. He's one of those type people. So he decided he was going to go in the stock market.
Oh, man.
And he was going to research and do this and do that. And he's not in the stock market no more. I never have asked him what happened, but he's still driving the same car. And so evidently it didn't turn out too good. So you will see these people. Now, how old are you, Zach?
I'm 19.
Yeah, you're going to see these people. In the next 10 years, you're going to see these type people. You're going to see these friends. They're going to come up to you. Hey, man, I got this. This is a winner. You need to be a part of this. And just go into it with one eye open. Both eyes open, really.
I was invited to this. It freaked me out, man. It really did. It was.
This was about a year and a half ago. I got invited to this. It was like this secret meeting type of thing, and it was just freaky. But anyway, so basically it was
where they were trying to get people to like sell vacations, basically, and they would have all this appeal and talk it up, and they're like, get paid to go on vacation and all this nonsense. And I went to this thing and I was like, this is some crap, I'm not putting my time and money into this. And my boss had actually quit to do that because I think that and this was someone who I thought was smart, not so much. She had quit her job and she was in a leadership position where she was making decent money, and she had like went on some vacations and got some good deals, and a year later it's not working out for her now, and she's out a decent job and she's scrambling. So I mean they'll try to
That's awful.
They'll try to initially make it really good and then screw you. So
yeah. When about 2 or 3 years after I got married, we went on vacation, me and my ex-wife, then was my wife, and we went to this thing. They give you $100 and a free meal if you'll go to this thing, and it's a time-sharing thing, okay? We went to one, and I was this close. To walking out, okay? Because these people were like popping corks off of champagne bottles every time somebody would sign up for one, and pop a balloon every time they'd sign up for one. And my wife was like, let's do it. And I'm like, no, this isn't right. And we walked out of that place, and two or three of my friends signed up. They got caught with that. It was in Myrtle Beach, and they got caught. And about 10 years later, they're trying to give their timeshares. Well, they can't get rid of it, and it's amazing.
See, we do it in Hilton Head every year, but we let them talk their spiel, and they do the same thing, Hubert. They have drinks there. They have like these noise makers if they get somebody to sign up, and they're like la 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 and all this kind of nonsense. But they give us a $200 gift certificate to a steakhouse in Hilton Head. That's each one of us. So I get a $200. My mother-in-law gets a $200, and we go there and we eat up like we was the Kardashians.
Yeah, but then you go in there and you don't even listen to them.
Listen, Hubert, I got to go. I got to take Carter to get a dentist appointment. He's having a teeth
Okay.
at 9:45.
That's fine. We're going to shut down here in a minute. But anyway, just remember those two things. If it's too good to be true, chances are it probably is. Now, this is general. Sell a stock for more than what you paid for it. Duh. Make
You have to
money
tell
while
someone
you
that
own
there's a
part of the
problem.
stock. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna buy a cow. I'm gonna buy a cow for $600 and I'm gonna sell it for $300. Duh.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rich one day.
You sound like the
Okay,
people at the vacation
I'm not even
meeting.
gonna try to say, do y'all understand that? Because that would insult your intelligence. Well, I'm not even going there. Now they're telling you how to read a stock, and if you want to read over that, that's fine. I'm not going into the stock market because I've got my stock market at home walking around the house, so I don't care anything about this, but you can look at it. It gives you a little bit of insight if you do want to fool with some stocks. Now, if I was going to fool with some stocks, I would keep my dadgum TV on Fox Business Network because all they do is talk about the stock market. All 24 hours, that's all they talk about. And on Saturdays and Sundays, they get this panel that comes on, and at the end of the show, they say, "What's your pick? What's your pick and what's your non-pick?" And they'll say, "Well, I'm gonna go with UPS, or I'm gonna go with blah blah blah." And then they say, "If I was to drop any right now, it would be blah blah blah." And people actually listen to them. Okay. But you got to have some knowledge, and that's the knowledge right here of one stock. This is the data on one stock. That's a little bit for your information. And I think that's going to be it from as far as what I now, Vanguard, how do I know that? How do I know that? Because my stocks in my 401k all circle around Vanguard. Okay? I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it is. I just know when I look on my statement, it has that on it, Vanguard. Okay? I know that's what it has on it. And the only reason I have that 401k is just to supplement my retirement. Right now, it's at like $300 a month. That's what I would get if I was to retire tomorrow. Okay, that would be added on to my state retirement. So that's why I have it. I don't have it for any other reason but to supplement my retirement for my state. Okay? And that is basically... Okay. Somebody's trying to get in touch with me. Oh, that's Walgreens. Mother's got a dang old drugs dope. Everybody can get it. All right. So this section is 4.3, and it is nothing but savings. Now, the things that I want you to know that. I want you to know if you make a monthly payment of $200 a month for 10 years at 5% monthly payments, how much will you have at the end of so many years, 20 years or whatever? That's one. The other one I want you to learn that was incorrect was the second one right here. And make sure you make that adjustment. This is supposed to be a multiplication symbol. That's supposed to be a multiplication symbol, and that's supposed to be 25. Okay? So everything's right except if you copy this guy right here, just change this into a multiplication symbol and just write this down right here. Okay? The other, make sure you know how to do new minus old over new. And that's it. That's the most mathematical. That's the type of questions I'm going to ask you out of this section. 4.3, 4C. I'm sorry, 4C. Now 4D, we're going to be talking about amortization. What in the world is amortization? Well, that's the depressing section. That's where we talk about your car payments and your loan payments. This is where you see how much you spend for that car that you got, and how much if you buy a $100,000 house at the end of 30 years, you really paid $200,000 for that $100,000 house. This is the depression part. Okay? So Zach, that new Mustang that you want, we're going to show you how much it really cost.
Okay.
Don't forget your $800 payment now. You need to make that payment too. $800.
Yeah,
Just go ahead and round it off to $1,000. Okay?
Okay, I'll try.
All right. Okay, I'm going to shut her down. Y'all have a good day. Y'all work on 4A.